Today marks the 25th anniversary of the OKC National Memorial Museum. Since its opening back in 2001, the museum has taken visitors on an interactive learning experience to make sure we never forget those who were killed in the 1995 bombing, those who survived, and the lives changed forever. My partner Kent sat down with the museum and memorial CEO Kerry Watkins to reflect on this milestone.
You know, for 25 years, the Oklahoma City National Memorial Museum has preserved the stories and lessons of April 19, 1995, and the response that followed. And joining us to talk about that is Kerry Watkins, President and CEO of the National Memorial Museum. Kerry, thanks for being here, and it's good to see you as always.
Thanks for having me back.
Well, let's talk a little bit about it. Gosh, you've been there since the very beginning, humble beginnings in some ways, right?
That's correct. I think back to really just, you look in that museum and you see the stories, the first-person stories, many of them journalists, and the contributions that Channel 4 and other television stations made, but just how you guys told the stories in those very first moments and hours and weeks and days, and to see so many familiar faces on there still, yours and Kevin's and others that run News 4. It's just kind of amazing to hear from the people who are the stakeholders, the family members, the survivors, first responders, the journalists. Then we go into the prosecution and defense and the jurors. And so we have all those stories, and we're preserving all those stories. But really, as we mark this 25th anniversary, it is about making sure those stories are kept and told, and we take the lessons we learn from them and teach them now to a new generation.
I think it's fantastic, and we've both been part of this for so long. To me, it comes down to little pictures, little portraits of different people, different little stories. There's so many different little angles in what happened that day and the growth and the things that have happened since then. Yeah,
and I think one of it is just to hope that people will resonate with some story. So something might touch you, something else might touch me, something else might touch somebody else, but there's so much of a perspective from different folks that you can find something that resonates with you. So if it's Donna Weaver, who lost her husband, saying we had to learn how to be a family again even though their dad was gone, you don't have to lose someone in a terrorist attack. It could be through cancer or a car wreck. I mean, people who go through can resonate with those sound bites, those talks, those stories, as you said, and that begins to make people understand kind of the impact and the senselessness of it all.
And I'm always fascinated by people from out of state that come in, well, out of the country, really for that matter, international visitors that come through, and they're touched, they're moved by something that really happened now a long time ago.
Yeah, almost at 31 years, if you can believe it.
Incredible.
So the museum, the outdoor site opened on the 5th anniversary. The museum opened in February of 2001 with President Bush's first visit out of the White House. Right. And I think as we work to continue to preserve the story, the artifacts in the archives, a couple million different artifacts that we tell the stories with, we rotate those. And as we go through the forward construction that we're in now, as you exit the museum, you leave through the archives, so we're rotating some artifacts there that you get to see. Those change every month. And so it's been a chance for us, even though we're under construction during this important year, it's also, we're working to make the museum better and larger, and then to bring people in to more light and not to soften the story. There's a line in the mission statement that talks about making sure we teach the brutality of the evil and the tenderness of the response. And that really is our goal, is to make sure you see the horrific part of it and the loss, but also the heroic and incredible good that can come out of evil, and the good that people really have in them when we work together.
Congratulations on the work you've done there and the legacy you're leaving there.
Thank you.
All right, Kerry, good to see you.
That's incredible. Today marks the special occasion, so admission will be free at the Memorial Museum.
Now, the free tickets will still need to be reserved, though, ahead of time, so be sure to go to their link on our website at KFOR.com.